Alright, what's up? So, we are back again, and today we're gonna do a little bit of gun and GUI since we have that. So, what we're gonna do is get the gun ammo thing working up. So, we're gonna do ammo. So what I did was we added two more things. One is the current bullet amount and a reload amount, and I added it to the gun property. And then when we go in our gun property, it's just two int numbers. One is the current bullet amount, which is 60, which is how many bullets we give the object, and reload amount is how many, or it's going to reload by that much. So we're going to say it's going to reload by 15, just made it a little simpler for everyone. And let's go in and hop right on it. So there's two things we're going to do. One thing we're going to do is we're going to add text. So what the text is going to do is it's going to give us the visualization of the object, and we're going to update the gun every time we update the amount of bullets we have. We update that gun physics. So how do we do that? Let's go into our Hud Maker. So I'm just going to hold Control and click on the Hud Maker, and we have it over here. And inside our Hud Maker, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a function and just call it a void public function called update gun, which we have a current amount and max amount inside. So we're just going to add that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to also give the gun handler this include, and we're going to let it get the what do we call it? The gun HUD. So we're gonna reference this, and to do that is we just go into our updates, and we'll change that later on. So but before we do that, let's make that HUD. So we got over here our text inside the canvas, then we got over here our box, and we got over here our crosshair, so the little thing in the middle. So what we're gonna add is actually one more thing, and it's going to be for the gun. And what I'm gonna do for the gun is, if we go inside our HUD Maker, we're gonna add two label pointers. One is the current amount and max amount, and this is going to be our text labels, right? So what we are going to do is inside our init, we're going to do a current amount and just give an arrow, and we're going to say add, or we're going to create it actually. So equals to Unigine widget label and create. So I'm just going to copy and paste that and then change this to max amount. Alright, then I'm going to copy this line and just paste it twice, and instead of image we're going to change the current amount to here and the max amount here. So now they're actually inside the HUD Maker. So the next thing we can do is actually design the HUD Maker. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this guy. So let's just go here, and we're going to code this update gun. Now over here I don't have update gun, so I'm just going to write here, so void. Alright, so now that we have our update, so what we're going to do is we're going to let the gun handler take care of the update, and what it's going to do is it's just going to take the numbers and it's going to update them. That's all it's going to do. And so to do that, we're actually going to use something called strings. So if we go inside our HUD Maker, I have the include / string, because we're going to string out the int. So we can just do a string and then amount, and I could do an std string, and then actually it's not std string, it's supposed to be std2 string. Okay, and then it's going to ask for a thing, so we're going to do the current amount first. Alright, and then we're going to do the current amount set text. Oh yeah, let's change the names over here just so it doesn't ruin us. So all right, set text. We're gonna take that amount and then dot c string and just put those brackets, and now that gives us a constant character pointer. And then current amount set font size. So the reason why we're changing this is because as the numbers change, it also gives that minute differences, so it should be consistent every time. And I'm just going to keep the font over here for this guy 48, and I'm going to keep the sizing to be on the top right side. So we're going to do just a simple set position, and for the X it's going to be width. All right, and I'm just going to minus it by like 160 or something, and then make it 20 pixels down. It's just hard coded for now, nothing really big. The next thing we're going to do is then amount equals to std to string, and then m amount. Right, we updated the string, and then we're just gonna copy and paste this. Instead of current, we're just gonna say max amount. So let's just copy this, paste, 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 and then for this one, we're not gonna make it 160. Let's just half that, so by 80. It'll just look a little bit better on what we have right now. So that does that. So now we get the number, it's just gonna display it. So that's its job. The next thing we're gonna do is actually get the Hud Maker to add it into our dude. So if we go into our Hud Maker and we go into our let's close Hud Maker. Actually, we're done with that. If we go to our gun handler, and the moment we get the gun, right, we're gonna have to do something. So I added 3 more ints. One is the current bullet amount, one's the reload amount, and the amount in gun. So in our case over here in our property, we have the current bullet amount and reload. The amount in gun is just our own special. We can also just change the values in here, but I'm just trying to be a little bit just visually showing you guys the difference. So we got the rate of fire, which is basically parameter 2. Then we get the current bullet amount, which is, let's just copy and paste this, and it was number 3. And then we get the reload amount, which is the same thing but number 4. So let's just double check that. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we got that. We can also put a red right here to check it once we play with it, but for now I'll just put it there. Okay, so now we got the current bullet and the reload amount. Okay, so once we have that, we also wanted to update the gun, but before we do that, let's actually connect that HUD. So HUD equals to get component Hud Maker inside our gun HUD. Now if you guys are asking what gun HUD is, we go into the gun handler. I just have the Hud Maker inside the GUI, so we just clicked and dragged it in there. So now it's going to take it from there. Okay, then we just do a HUD update gun, and then we say the current amount and then the reload amount, right? So for that, we're just going to do reload, and for reload we're actually going to have to make that function. So void reload, and then let's make the function right here, right, and then we just let it reload. So reload will make sure by itself. So it's gonna first check first it's gonna check how much we have in our Well, we can do it in steps. So the first thing we're going to do is we're always just going to check what we have in current bullet amount. So if it equals to 0, if the current bullet amount equals to 0, we can do a simple Unigine log message, and we could say like it's empty or something. Right? And make sure it's double equal, since we're trying to compare, not assign. All right, so if it's 0, we're going to say it's empty. We don't have any more. Else if current bullet amount, right? Now we're going to have to check two things. We're going to have to check whether it's less than the amount that we need and greater than the amount we need. And the amount that we're looking for is basically just an int reload equals to the reload amount, the amount that we need, or the amount that we can get, minus the amount in gun. So that gives us that. In our case, we have the reload amount as 15 minus the amount in the gun, which is 0. Let's actually initialize that to 0. So when it starts, it's a 0. So now it's 15 minus 0, which is 15. Right. So now we're going to have to check if current bullet amount is, let's do greater than the reload. Right. If there's more than the reload, then we could just do a current bullet amount minus equal to reload. All right, which means current bullet amount minus the reload, and then the amount in gun plus equals reload. We don't make it equal to the reload, we make it additional to the reload. Then next we can add one more else if the current bullet amount is less than the reload, right? If it's less, we're gonna do the amount in gun equals to the current bullet amount, and then the current bullet amount equals to 0. So that's our basic bullet control and our basic bullet thingy. So now how do we set it up in our shoot? Because we're gonna have to set it up in our shoot, and the best way to set it up in our shoot would definitely just simply be if current bullet amount, actually yeah, if current bullet amount equals to or like is greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, then we do all this. So if it's greater than 0, then we do all this. And then we're gonna add one more thing. We're gonna add a simple bullet in shell, bullet in the gun. So the amount in the gun, we're just gonna minus it, so it goes down by 1, and then we're just gonna update the HUD, update the gun. All right, and it's gonna ask for the current amount, which is the amount in gun, and the max amount is current bullet amount. And I'm just gonna copy this line, and I'm gonna add that in the reload too, because if we wanted to reload, we can reload. And the best way to reload is we just write it here. So if we're holding the gun and we were to press, let's just say R, right? Unigine input R, key R, right? And let me just change this, is key down, then we reload. Okay, let's check it out. All right, so we're here. Let's pick up the gun, and now we're here. Rate of fire that we remembered before was 1. Let's just step over, and it turns to 2, which is what we kept it as. If I remember correctly. No, it doesn't tell you here. It tells you, where are you? Rate of fire is 2, current bullet amount is 60, and reload amount is 15. So now let's just go further. Reload amount is 60. Current bullet amount is 60, and then reload amount is 15. Perfect. And then we reload it, and let me remove this and just press continue. And now we have the number right here. So now if I were to shoot, oh no, we forgot to actually write the shooting code. Let's see. Oh yes, so it's going to be in our update right here. If it is less than 0, which is wrong, it's supposed to be if it's greater than 0. And then else if bullet in no. Sorry guys, I made that mistake. It's supposed to be a mountain gun. So if the mountain gun is greater than 0, then we can shoot. But if it is less, or if it is equal to 0, let's say it's empty, then we automatically reload. Alright, so let's pick it up, shoot it, and you can see now if I press R, it reloaded and we had the object. Now if I were to just keep holding it, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and now if I click it, it's going to automatically reload. Shoot, I press R, shoot, press R, it takes from our main and does that. So now we got a proper little reload system working on. So now we can also have like an inventory, and whenever we have enough bullets, we can add it inside here, and when we add it inside here, it can use it and just keep going on and on. So yeah, that's it for bullets. I will probably talk to you guys again and probably clean up the animations, because there's a way to do it faster and I think I'm wasting too much space, so we're gonna be fixing that too. Alright, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.